The Boston Bruins Czech line made sure that David Krejci's 1,000th game was one to remember, as each member of the line, Pavel, Zacha, David Pastrnak, and Krejci himself, recorded 3 points apiece in the 6-0 shutout win over the Philadelphia Flyers. Let's get into it on today's episode of Locked On Boston Bruins.
You're Locked On Bruins, your daily podcast on the Boston Bruins. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, Bruins fans, and welcome back to the Locked On Boston Bruins podcast. I'm your host, Ian McLaren, and this is a daily show where we discuss all things Spoked B. Today is Tuesday, January 17th. I want to thank you for making Locked On Boston Bruins part of your day. It's free and available on Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon, Pocket Casts is what I use. Please do hit that subscribe button so that you never miss a thing. Please do also subscribe to the YouTube channel, Locked On Boston Bruins on YouTube, where we are nearing 1,000 subscribers. When we do hit that, as a quick reminder, I'll be giving away this sweet little Tim Hortons commemorative Patrice Bergeron mini stick. You can find the podcast on Twitter, Instagram at Locked NHL Bruins, and you can find me, my dad jokes and hockey tweets at Ian C. McLaren. Now, yesterday at TD Garden, the Boston Bruins took a moment to commemorate David Krejci's 1,000th game in the NHL, all in black and gold. Regular season games, of course. He's played a bunch more playoff games in which he's come up big, earning the nickname Playoff Krejci. Now, in this game, his impact on the team was on full display as the Bruins cruised to a 6-0 win over the Philadelphia Flyers. Krejci with 3 assists, and his line mates, David Pastrnak and Pavel Zacha, finished with 3 points apiece as well. We are so fortunate to have him back in black and gold, and he had some interesting things to say after the game. Ty Anderson of 98.5 tweeted after the game that Krejci said he likes the mentality of this team. The coaching change helped a lot. You can read into that what you will. The context of the full quote adds a bit. He said, "I'm very thankful and grateful that they gave me a call in the summer to come back." I think that feeling is mutual. Bruins fans and Don Sweeney, Cam Neely, thankful that he answered the phone and agreed to come back. He said he's glad the way the team is playing. The record speaks for itself. This could be a special year. We know that we have it in this room. We don't take it for granted. We'll see how it goes. But he likes the mentality of the team to stay in the moment, take it game by game. Practices have been good. The coaching change helped a lot, obviously, and we're feeling good. So I don't know if you can extrapolate that into how he felt about Bruce Cassidy, but obviously Jim Montgomery has reinvigorated the squad, not only with his coaching style and his system, but also in how he relates to the players. Great feeling to get that 1,000th game and the win, he said. This is one of those milestones that you're going to appreciate once you're done. You look back and you can appreciate it a little more. And there was so much appreciation in the room for David Krejci from the fans as well, but especially David Pastrnak, who lauded David Krejci after the game, saying he's like my big brother, right? He's 10 years older than me, but at the same time, one of the closest friends I've got. He said at first he was idolizing him as a fellow Czech, coming into the league, learning from him every day, and now they're close friends, very special, very happy for Krejci, and happy that he's found a friendship with him. He's an unbelievable player, accomplished a lot in this organization, and he deserves the recognition. Pavel Zacha, same thing. He's a legend back home. Everybody knows who he is. It was an afternoon game, so that allowed a lot of people back in Czechia to watch and celebrate the milestone. He's a legend in Boston now as well, not only because of the 1,000 games, but because of the cup that he has, the cup appearances, and the way that he's played in the playoffs. In those final appearances in 2013, he should have won the Conn Smythe. He would have won if they had won the cup. And 2019, he was instrumental as well. He said, Boston's been my home. Very thankful and grateful, again, that they gave the call in the summer. It helps when the team's doing well. You come early to the rink, a smile on your face. You're enjoying every moment because you don't know how long it's going to last. And he's going to remember this one once he's done for a long time. Getting the win the way they did, 6-0, a very special moment. Now, Krejci quietly has been having an excellent season for the Boston Bruins. That's kind of the story of his career. 38 games, 11 goals, 23 assists. He's fourth on the team in total points. One back of Patrice Bergeron with 5 fewer games played. His impact just continues to spread. The guys are so happy and excited to have him back in the mix. And his influence on the room, his influence on the ice can't be understated. It was on full display, especially in the first goal scored by David Pastrnak. Krejci made an amazing play to keep the puck in the offensive zone. Got it to Pavel Zacha, who fed it over to David Pastrnak. And that just typified his career in black and gold. Such a smart player, able to track the puck, make that smart pass, get it over to his teammates for the goal scored by Pavel Zacha, who recorded 3 points in his first game since signing that 4-year contract extension. And then, of course, the 3 points scored by David Pastrnak put him among the league leaders in points, or kept him up there anyways. He's now 4th in total points, actually tied for 3rd with Nikita Kucherov of the Tampa Bay Lightning with 62 points, 6 back of Leon Draisaitl, 21 back of Connor McDavid. In goals, he's 2 back of Connor McDavid. So Connor McDavid looking for his first Rocket Richard trophy, while Pastrnak chasing him down and looking for his second such trophy. Just a very entertaining game from top to bottom. Great effort from that Czech line. And it was amazing to see Jake DeBrusk in the booth to begin the second period when he said that Czech line's buzzing, boys, to Andy. To Brick and Jack Edwards. That just brought such a smile to my face. Coming up after the break, we're going to update the Eastern Conference power rankings. Later on, we'll take a look at a kind of a difficult schedule coming up for the Boston Bruins. But first, this episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline is the #1 source for sports betting info, stats, news, and analysis. Get the latest odds and trends for every pro and amateur league out there, from NFL playoffs to NBA, NHL, get some MLB futures over there as well. They've got it all at betonline.net. If you love sports podcasts, you can find those at BetOnline as well. They're the fastest and easiest way to get your betting info. Lay down some futures on Pastrnak winning the Richard Trophy, the Bruins winning the President's Trophy, Stanley Cup. Just head to their website today or use your mobile device to learn more at BetOnline, where the game starts. Now, following Boston's win yesterday over the Philadelphia Flyers, they remain firmly entrenched atop the Eastern Conference. They have a record of 34-5-4, 72 points, an .837 point percentage, and a plus 72 goal differential, which in the East is 32 better than second place New Jersey. Just insane how good this team has been. On Thursdays, we'll do our weekly cup check and see how they rank among the NHL's top 5 teams. But right now, they're far and away the best team in the Eastern Conference. Second place right now is the Carolina Hurricanes. They have 62 points, so full 10 back of Boston, and the Bruins have a game in hand on the Hurricanes as well. They're 5-3-2 over their last 10, and they have Frederik Andersen back in net with Antti Ranta backing up and Peter Kochetkov having been sent back to the AHL. In third place this week is the New Jersey Devils, 29-12-3. They've won 5 in a row, so they had that amazing multi-game win streak, fell back a bit, but now they're coming back up, and they sit third in the Eastern Conference at the moment. In fourth place, I'm giving it to the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're 8-2 over their last 10 games. They have a .679 point percentage, and they're 2 points back of third place Toronto, but with 2 games in hand. Now that matchup is pretty much locked in for the first round. All that's to be decided right now is who's going to get home ice advantage. Now, Toronto had it last season, and they still couldn't close out Tampa in the 7th game. So how much more difficult will it be if they don't have home ice advantage? So that's something to keep an eye on in the Atlantic Division. But right now, they both have plus 30 goal differentials. Tampa with a slight edge when it comes to point percentage, .679 compared to Toronto's .670. Moving down the Eastern Conference, this is where we start to get into the range of teams that Boston could play in the first round. You have the New York Rangers, 6-2-2 over their last 10. They're third in the Metro right now, ahead of Washington and Pittsburgh and the Islanders, who are all fighting for a chance to move up to third in the Atlantic or a wild card spot. Washington right now has the edge in the wild card race. They're 4 points up on Pittsburgh, albeit with 3 games more played than the Penguins. The Penguins have a chance to overtake Washington if they make good on those games in hand. So as it stands, the Bruins would be playing the Pittsburgh Penguins in the first round, but they have a chance to catch Washington. The New York Islanders are kicking around as well. They have 50 points, tied with Pittsburgh for the final wildcard spot, but Pittsburgh has 2 games in hand on the Islanders, keeping them down in 9th place. Is there any other teams that could challenge for a playoff spot? Well, the Buffalo Sabres looked to be making a move. They're 6 points back of the Islanders and the Penguins. A 524 point percentage, plus 14 goal differential. The only team with a positive goal differential outside the playoff picture. They've lost a couple games in a row, losing some ground there in the playoff picture. You have Detroit, who's in 12th at the moment with a 512 point percentage. The Florida Panthers in 10th. In 12th at the moment with a 511 point percentage, minus 5 goal differential. They're only 4 points back of Pittsburgh, but they've played 45 games compared to Pittsburgh's 43. It's going to be very challenging for them to jump back into the playoff picture after winning the President's Trophy last season. The teams that you can pretty much write off altogether: Philadelphia Flyers, who the Bruins pasted yesterday, the Ottawa Senators, Montreal Canadiens, and the Columbus Blue Jackets, who are right in the thick of it when it comes to the Connor Bedard sweepstakes. A minus 60 goal differential, which is tied for second worst in the NHL. Anaheim down at minus 82. So, Eastern Conference Power Rankings, Boston far and away the number one team this week. 34, 5-4, that 837 point percentage, and a plus 72 goal differential. Carolina, New Jersey, second and third. The next tier, you have Tampa and the Toronto Maple Leafs. New York Rangers, kind of kicking around as the third place team in the Metro right now. And then your playoff kind of bubble teams: Washington, Pittsburgh, the Islanders, and the Buffalo Sabres, with Washington and Pittsburgh the most likely to make the playoffs at this point in time. Coming up after the break, we're going to take a look at Boston's upcoming schedule and some challenges that could be ahead. Our other sponsor today is Athletic Greens. They have a product that you need to hear about. With one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. It's a special blend of ingredients that supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, energy, recovery, focus, and aging. Basically, all the things you need for a healthy lifestyle. It's lifestyle friendly, whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free. Contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything, while still tasting good. It supports better sleep quality and recovery, supports mental clarity and alertness, and it's the one thing with the best things. They use the best of the best products based on the latest science, with constant product iterations and third-party testing. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/NHL Network. That's athleticgreens.com/NHL Network to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. All right, what is next for our Boston Bruins? Well, it's a bit of a trek through the Eastern Conference between now and the All-Star break and Boston's bye week. From February 2nd until the 10th, the Bruins will be off. There's the All-Star game that weekend, and then their bye week. Coincidentally, I'll be off from the 2nd to the 9th. So my wife and I are traveling to Jamaica to celebrate her upcoming birthday, as well as 5 years cancer-free. I might record 1 or 2 podcasts from the road. Who knows? Stay tuned. But there will be fewer podcasts over that break, to say the very least. Now, this week, the Bruins have a road trip to New York. They'll take on the Islanders Wednesday evening. That will be a TNT broadcast, so it's a 7:30 start. And then the following night, they'll be at Madison Square Garden to take on the Rangers. Friday, Saturday off. Then a Sunday tilt back at home against the San Jose Sharks before they embark on a 5-game road trip to wrap up this section of the pre-All-Star game schedule. They play the Montreal Canadiens, should be fine there. Then they're in Tampa to take on the Lightning, go to Florida to take on the Panthers. The next night, they'll be in Carolina to take on the Hurricanes. And then they wrap up this part of the schedule in Toronto on February 1st. So that should be a very good game to wrap up before this All-Star break. So that's a pretty difficult schedule coming up. Like I said, Islanders, Rangers in playoff contention at the moment. Sharks, not so much. Canadians, not at all. But then you have the Lightning, Panthers, Hurricanes, and Maple Leafs. Panthers, of course, the reigning President's Trophy champions, looking to avoid missing the playoffs. So that won't be an easy out. That's what's coming up next. On tomorrow's podcast, we will preview the game against the New York Islanders and bring you all the latest with respect to the black and gold. A huge congratulations once again to David Krejci for the 1,000 games. One of my favorite Bruins over the last, 15 years, minus the year in Czechia. But such an important player, such a smart player, such a great player. And he obviously has the admiration of everybody in the room. And he deserves all the accolades. He's a Bruins legend. Jim Montgomery said, a lot of players have so much respect for him, and rightfully so. And he showed us why again last night, just making everyone better. He was on the ice for 5 of Boston's 6 goals, picking up assists on 3 of them, and gave his Czech line mates that boost to have their own 3-point games. He's the 5th player in NHL history to collect at least 3 assists in his 1,000th career game, 9th to pick up at least 3 points. Bruins legend Johnny Busick had 6 points in his 1,000th game, while Theo Fleury, when he was with the Rangers, had 4 points in his 1,000th game. All right, that's it, friends. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of Locked On Boston Bruins. Don't forget to subscribe on your podcast app and on YouTube. And we'll talk to you again here tomorrow on the Locked On Boston Bruins podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your favorite team every single day.